Baseball is officially back. You saw my video late last night about baseball being back. The lockout is over, and the hot stove, it's just been it went from basically nothing, not even on a low simmer. It went from low to absolutely high right now because Carlos Rodon, arguably the best free agent pitcher available, someone that I wanted on the New York Mets so desperately bad, someone that Dodgers fans, someone that Yankee fans, someone that if you are a competitive team in baseball, you want him on your squad. He was just picked up. He was just signed by the San Francisco Giants on a 2-year, $44 million contract, according to Jeff Passan of ESPN. Wow, San Francisco. Wow, that's a huge move. They lost Kevin Gausman, of course, this offseason. He went to Toronto. Big contract there. Can't blame him. But they're going to fill in that hole extremely well with Carlos Rodon, because when Carlos Rodon is healthy, he has shown that he can be one of the best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball without a doubt. He was so good last year. For like the first 100, 120 innings of the season, he was absolutely disgusting. While stuff started to fall off towards the end, I mean, if you're a Giants fan, you have to be absolutely pumped about this move. One, he's a really, really good pitcher who's going to go into a rotation that's pretty solid to begin with. He makes it a whole lot better. Two, you're a Giants fan. You just took away a huge piece for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who they could have brought in Carlos Rodon. You made your team stronger while also making sure the Dodgers didn't get any better. Three, he costs no money. $22 million a year for the next 2 years is absolutely nothing, and I kind of am surprised that on a lower term deal, Carlos Rodon didn't get more. I would have thought $25 million if he was signed a 2-year deal, but to be able to get him for $22 a year, there is some risk for sure. He's an injury guy. He's been injured in the past, but he looked so good last year at times. He looks like he's a lot stronger. I wouldn't be particularly worried. I mean, let's just go ahead and talk about how good Carlos Rodon was last year, because he was truly unbelievable at times. So Rodon last year threw 132 innings during the regular season, and about the first 100 were absolutely disgusting. And it's not like the second half was bad, by the way. Second half was still really good, but listen to these numbers in the first half. First half, 89 2/3 innings, 2.31 ERA, 360 batters faced, 130 strikeouts, so that's a K rate of what? 36%? That's absolutely disgusting. That's among the top in all of Major League Baseball. You're striking out guys over 30%. You have disgusting stuff. 36, that's up there among the best of the league in terms of strikeout rate for starting pitchers. Unbelievable in the first half. He was only walking 7.2%, so the K to walk ratio was phenomenal, absolutely elite. Whip under 1, BABIP at 277, so it's not like he was even particularly getting lucky. He was just very, very good. FIP at 2.39, xFIP at 2.93. He was limiting home runs. He was limiting the long ball, getting strikeouts. They weren't putting the ball in play too much, and when they were, it really wasn't for much success. And again, over the first half of the Major League Baseball season last year, he was one of the best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball without a doubt. And on the American League side, he was arguably the best, because we know DeGrom was on the National League. Rodon in the American League was absolutely dominant. Second half, of course, some stuff fell off. The fastball definitely wasn't as strong as it was at the beginning, but for a guy who had missed a lot of time over the last few years, Tommy John surgeries and a bevy of injuries, it made sense. His arm has to catch up a little bit. It's going to get stronger, and I think he'll be even better in 2022, especially pitching in San Francisco. Now, of course, the competition in the National League West will be a lot better than it was in the AL Central last year. You got the Dodgers, you got the Padres, and then even when you go to Arizona and Colorado, while the teams might not be the strongest, obviously those are very, very hitter-friendly ballparks. They're massive. The ball flies out of there, so artificially your numbers are going to be higher. But the K rate even at the end of the year in the second half, like I said, when the fastball velo dropped off, when he wasn't his sharpest, was still 31%. Like, that is so good for a guy who wasn't at his best. A lot of guys would love that to be his best. And in fact, even if you look at it more, he walked less guys. So while he wasn't having the swing and miss stuff, it didn't matter because he was still, striking out 31% of the batters he faced. So it was still pretty good. But the walk rate was down. So he might have actually even figured something out where he's like, I can give up a little bit of the strikeout stuff to limit the walks more, and I will still be just as successful, because the ERA in the second half was what? 2.51 as opposed to 2.31. The FIP was 3.26, xFIP 3.66. Like, yeah, those numbers are definitely worse, but relatively speaking, for a guy coming off the injuries like Carlos Rodon, you can tell the caliber of pitcher that he can be, and it is a Cy Young caliber pitcher. So you now add him into a rotation that has Logan Webb, who's a Cy Young caliber pitcher who looked really, really good last year and should be taking big steps forward again in 2022. That 1-2 punch right there is gross. You brought back Tony Disco. You still have Alex Wood. Like, this rotation's pairing up really nicely for a Giants team that overperformed last year, and they're trying to continue to stay at the top of the National League West. I just still can't believe that at 2 years, $44 million, that's what got it done. I can't believe Steve Cohen didn't go after him and spend more. I can't believe the Dodgers did. I can't believe the Yankees. I can't believe the Rays didn't try to go after a guy like this for this cheap. 2 years, $44 million to me, feels like every team in baseball should have been in on Carlos Rodon. And hey, maybe Carlos Rodon wanted to go to San Francisco. Maybe he's always wanted to play for the Giants. I don't know this. I don't know the guy. But you would think that at that price range, there would be a lot more suitors for a guy who has the ability at times to be one of the most dominant pitchers in Major League Baseball. So San Francisco Giants fans, Farhan Zaidi, you made an absolutely amazing move. This is one of the top, if not the top pitchers available on the free agent market right now after the lockout, and you swooped him up in day one. You got him for an affordable price. At that price, he can pitch 130 innings a year and still be valuable based on how he was last year. Injury concerns will always be there. The fastball velo did drop. But for a guy going to an organization who seems to have figured something out on the pitching side, who seems to understand injuries, especially on the pitching side, a guy who's going to be even stronger because he now has 130 plus innings underneath his arm. We're going into last year, he didn't nearly have that. I really do think the Giants might have just made one of the better moves of the entire offseason. This is a huge pickup. I'm a huge Carlos Rodon fan. If you guys have been listening to my Mets Stuff podcast or anything that I've been talking about ever about Carlos Rodon, I've wanted him on the New York Mets since the day free agency started. I thought he would be a great fit, and I thought he'd be a good pickup. So putting all my bias aside here, this is a fantastic move for the San Francisco Giants, and it definitely makes them a lot more dangerous in the grand scheme of National League and Major League Baseball. Huge move for them. And again, how awesome is it that we're talking about baseball right now? I was able to just talk about baseball for like 6 or 7 minutes straight there without even giving you guys a plug of like subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below. I mean, I want to know what you're thinking about this Carlos Rodon move. So if you're a Giants fan, if you're just a fan of anything, let me know. Do you like this move by the Giants and Carlos Rodon? Because I mean, you can see how I'm reacting to it outside of being a Mets fan where I hate it. If you're a fan of the Giants, you should be pumped. And if you're a fan of baseball, you understand how big and how good of a move this is by the Giants picking up Rodon for 2 years, $44 million. I mean, I'm about to check Twitter. There's got to be, is there strings attached to this deal? Because that's just too cheap. That's way too cheap. Jeff Passan, what do you got for me? Anything new? Oh, I missed this. There's an opt-out after the first season. Ooh, maybe that's why it's 2 years, $44 million. There's an opt-out after the first season. My brain's just getting back into baseball, but I completely missed that. That's actually huge, because if Rodon pitches really well, he's going to hit free agency next year and get paid big time. And if he doesn't, he can stay with them, get $22 million, and try to improve his stock. Yeah, this is a really good deal, I think, for both sides, actually, still. The Giants, you get him for 1 year, $22 million, sure. You just saw Noah Syndergaard sign for $20 million for 1 season, and he did not throw a breaking ball last year. And he was coming off Tommy John. Carlos Rodon's going to be better than Noah Syndergaard. It has to be. This is crazy. Okay, that's actually a really good move for both sides. It makes a little bit more sense now why it's 22 and maybe not 25, because of course the player wanting the opt-out definitely gives the club a little bit of leverage here to pay him a little bit more. But yeah, this is a really good deal for both sides. I can't believe I missed it. And that rotation, Webb, Rodon, Desclafani, Alex Wood, and Alex Cobb, that is signing up and pairing up to be one of the better rotations all of baseball. You knew that the Giants are going to be good again this year, but picking up Rodon, they're definitely a team you got to be weary of. They overperformed last year, without a doubt, but they're trying to be just as good, if not better, this upcoming season. You got to love it. You got to love it. This is what we want with baseball. We want teams trying to improve, getting better, getting the best players, paying these guys. I miss baseball so badly. I'm just excited to be talking to you guys about this because we went 100 days where I was not able to break down Carlos Rodon. I wasn't able to tell you about rumors, trades, anything, stats. It was so boring. And today, we got to start off hot here at 4:30 Eastern, where Carlos Rodon is going to the San Francisco Giants on a 2-year deal with an opt-out after the first year. And in terms of other moves, I don't think I see any soon. I think Martin Perez signed with the Texas Rangers, which I think that's a nice pickup for them. He has a little bit of trouble with the fly ball at times, so going to Texas where the ball doesn't really travel as well in globe life as it once did, for an organization he used to be a part of, I think it's a pretty solid move. Apparently, a bunch of teams are interested in Albert Pujols to play DH. The National League has really helped him out, and I'm trying to see, is there any other news here in terms of baseball moves? I don't think so. I apologize if I miss a smaller player or a smaller move. I'm really keeping my eyes out for the bigger ones right now. But Martin Perez, Rangers, Carlos Rodon to the Giants, those are the two big ones. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, like I said earlier, down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, you're excited for baseball, make sure to drop a like on it. Really does help the video and help support the channel. As well as if you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Baseball's here. There's no reason for you not to subscribe. So click that sub button and join the team. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc. We're posting everywhere, content coming out the wazoo. And that's where I'll wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, or honestly even maybe later today, because I feel like there's gonna be more moves for another video. Oh, baseball's back. I'm so excited. This is amazing. The hot stove, it's fully on.